Good to see each one of you. This is my favorite time of year. You don't need a coat and you're not sweating all over the place, so it's
Never
play.
need one in here.
Trick or treat, right?
Yeah.
And especially in here, we might want a sweater. But anyway, it's good to see each one of you. Glad you can come to our meetings. Need a roll call. Ms. Mickles?
Mr. Como.
Here.
Ms. May. Here. Mr. Beatty.
Here.
Mr. Hicks.
Here.
Mr. McCoy.
Here.
Mr. Graves.
Here.
And Mr. Manley.
Here.
We will have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dabo Graves, presentation colors by Ouachita Parish High School under Chief Rudolph's guidance, and Ms. Kaya Wright will have the invocation for us if you'd like to stand.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Please bow your heads. Dear God, we come before you today seeking your wisdom and guidance as we guide through this school board meeting. We ask that you bless each member here with clarity and insight so that they may make decisions that are beneficial for our entire school community. Grant them the patience to listen to one another, the courage to speak their mind with kindness, and the wisdom to make the right decisions. May their discussions be filled with respect and understanding, and may your ways come to seek common ground, even in the difference. We pray for the teachers, staff, and administrators who dedicate their lives to education, and for the parents and guardians who support and nurture their children. Let the decisions reflect your love and justice, and may the outcome of this meeting bring about positive change and growth. Guide us, protect us, and bless us. Our efforts today and always.
Amen.
Let's pray forward. Mark. Forward on.
Board, we need to amend our agenda. Oh, we didn't. Let's approve the minutes for the last time. September 17th, approval. Motion, please.
I move we amend the agenda as presented.
Second.
No, I'm sorry, we're doing approval for the minutes from the last one.
I move we approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? There's none. Now we need to amend the agenda, adding item 1 under permission to bid. Have a motion to amend.
Make a motion to amend.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? Motion carried. Now we'll approve the agenda as amended. Have a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? And there is none. Motion carried. Personnel report.
We're
Mr.
good,
Gass?
We're good, Mr. Como.
All right, good deal. Moving right on to business, moving to cards. Mr. Manley, today?
No, sir, Mr. Como, no cards today.
Thank you, sir. No, we had a correction on that, David. We're good. All right, item 1, special recognition, Miss Eileen Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Como. Mr. Manley, if you'd like to join us on the floor. We're very excited today to recognize Sterlington Elementary School. I'm going to ask Ms. Wilkes to come up with your staff. Ms. Hackler. I'm sure you're all aware, because Tabby's been praising them for a month now. Sterlington Elementary has been named a 2024 National Blue Ribbon School. The school and faculty were recognized for narrowing the achievement gaps for all student groups, including exemplary work with special education students. They are one of 7 schools in the state and only 356 schools in the nation to achieve this honor this year, and they became the 4th Ouachita Parish school to achieve this honor. Congratulations.
Super proud of them. They will be recognized November the 7th and 8th in Washington, D.C., so exciting times. So great job.
Yes.
Next That concludes our recognitions. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 2, update on Ouachita Parish 4-H and National 4-H Week. Bethany Corona, guest.
No guests. I figured the kids needed to be in school today.
That's all right.
They've been, happens to be National 4-H Week, so they've been going with me to, city council meetings and other meetings will be on the news today with the kids.
Thank you.
So just trying to get the word out about 4-H. So this is just a small thank you, because 4-H would not be the same without the Ouachita Parish
Thank you.
School Board.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So since I was here last October, we've had a few changes. Ms. Tara Garlington, the other 4-H agent who's been here for about 7 years, has moved on to a nutrition position. So that position has been filled by Ms. Lena Thornton, and she will be the elementary 4-H agent, and I'm the junior high school 4-H agent. I'm excited to announce that we have gone, since I started last July, we've gone from 18 clubs to 59 clubs. So we are very excited about that. So within those clubs, we've got our traditional clubs that we are meeting with in the schools, and we really appreciate all the administrators who are working with us. We're still working on some schools, and it's going to be a process because we do have 69 potential schools and a lot more clubs potential than that 69 in the parish because we include public, private, charter, as well as homeschool groups. And so this will take us a while, but I'm excited about the progress we've made. Our shooting sports program, our robotics program, junior leaders, all those programs, livestock, they're growing exponentially. And so we're seeing, the fruit of our labor kind of coming in this year. And I just wanted to share with you in honor of National 4-H Week, why this is so important to me to be in every school. 4-Hers, according to our research done on a national level, 4-Hers are 5 times more likely to graduate college, not start, to graduate. 4-Hers are 4 times more likely to give back to their communities. And this is a new study that just came out this month. They're 2 times more likely to have a goal of being a leader, and they're 2 times more likely to report living a life with intentionality and purpose. And that may not sound like a big deal when we're talking about academics, but in a world where mental health is so low, it's really important to me that our kids are well-rounded and they live with a purpose. And so I'm excited that 4-H provides that, and I want to thank y'all for your support. Do y'all have any questions for the 4-H program?
What grade do you start for 4-H?
4th grade, 9 years old. So if they're younger than 4th grade, but they're 9, or excuse me, lower than 4th grade, but they're 9, they can join as members at large.
I just want to say thank you, Bethany, for what y'all doing. It's a great partnership with us, and I know we got some principals in here that have those clubs, so
Yes,
just thank you for
principals.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Item number 3, update on Sterlington Middle School construction status. Mr. Gregory.
Good afternoon, Board. I've been asked to come give a revised update of the Sterlington Middle School project. As y'all know, substantial completion on the main part of the school was granted on July the 19th of this year to accommodate the normal opening of school for them out there. The concession stand, stadium, and press box was not complete at the time. They were lacking some materials for the complete installation of it. It's thus been completed. Friday week ago, the fire marshal was out there and he released it for occupancy. The press box, stadium, and the concession stand didn't have any deficiencies at all. That's a plus to the contractor. You normally don't get the first go around with the fire marshal with no deficiencies, but it is available for occupancy now. The grounds are in a lot better shape. There's still a little bit of tweaking to do. They've cut the majority of the grass. There's still a little washouts, a few where the grass did not get established and the rains have kind of washed it, but they're in the process of, you know, washouts on a grade like that, or it's a process that you have to get it seeded to where it won't create erosion, and then you have to come back and add to it and add to it. But it looks a lot better. The contractor has provided the majority of all the maintenance and operation brochures. I delivered the kitchen staff this morning, the brochure on all the kitchen equipment and warranties, all the specifications and the operation and maintenance of all the kitchen equipment. I'm in the process right now of evaluating the compliance with all the other ones, the mechanical systems and the electricals and so forth, and I'll be submitting those to Stephen here probably next week or the next week after we've reviewed them. Trying to think what else. Most of the documents are done. The maintenance and operations are done, except we were lacking and they're absent the test and balance report of the mechanical equipment in the system. They should be forthcoming here in the next week or so, as well as the standing seam metal roof warranty. We've got the facility out there has standing seam metal roof as well as flat built-up roof. We've received the warranty on the flat built-up, but we haven't on that, so it should be forthcoming on that. The punch list, when we punched it out and granted the substantial completion on the 19th, is very comprehensive of the entire facilities, as well as we supplemented a punch list last week on the concession stand and the stadium and the press box. But we're waiting on verification of the contractor that all of it has been done. That way I can get out there with my team, mechanical and electrical engineers, to verify of all the completion. That's kind of where it stands right now, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that y'all may have.
Only question I got, Rice, and I appreciate you coming in and giving the board an update based on our last monthly meeting and so forth, but from the punch list standpoint, does the contractor indicate that he's going to try to handle the punch list in a timely fashion going forward? Is that
Yes,
kind of
they finished a lot of it. They've been here in the last 60 days or so. They've been very cooperative in addressing things. The punch list goes a little bit slower now once you get the children introduced into the school. There's only specific hours and weekends that they can work out there, but they have made a very good attempt to get everything done. I may add, we have not received their no lien certificate required on state projects for a 45-day lien period after substantial completion. We have not received that yet, nor have we received a consent of surety on their bonding company. And we're still holding, for the punch list, we're holding in the account $598,000 and a little bit of change on that, and then as well as the normal retainage is a little over 1.5 million. So we have a total of about 2.1 million that we still have in our balance to pay.
I just want to make sure that for future things that may pop up from the construction standpoint, that we have enough money to cover that with the holding apparently.
Right. Normally, when they finish the completion and we verify completion of the punch list, they will be able to be entitled to their retainage once we have the no lien certificate and the consent of surety. We pay that, and normally on every job that y'all do, once we've paid them a final balance, they still honor their 1-year warranty. There's a 1-year warranty starting on July the 19th that follows that building on every component of it that they are obligated to do, but you have to kind of take their word. There is nothing written. It's in the scope of the work in the contract, but we will be advancing their balance.
I know you had talked about our last meeting, subject to you following up with them, that there's a possibility we might terminate the contract. What's your recommendation based on what you're saying now to the board regarding?
I would recommend. I think it's in the best interest of the school system, the kids out there, taxpayers, and everybody, that I'm comfortable with the balance that we have left on the job, and they're cooperating on getting it done, and I want to relationship with them to honor their one-year warranty and things like that. And I think would be best served to move the way we're going right now.
Well, I appreciate the job you've done out there, and appreciate your hard work from our behalf and representing us as the board, and
Okay.
thank you so much for taking care of all that.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any other questions?
Thank you, Mr.
All right.
Rice. Item 4, consider naming Central Elementary Gym in honor of Mr. Alvin Britton Sr. Mr. Beatty?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we do name the gym in honor of Mr. Alvin Britton Sr. I believe, and we need a second on that.
I'll second it.
And I'd like Ms. Hamby, I think she's going to be reading something about Mr. Britton. I believe we have. Yeah.
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 You give her. Thank you.
Okay, the Brittons have been a part of Central Elementary for a long, long time. Mr. Alvin Britton Sr. was a former employee of the Ouachita Parish School Board. He was employed with the Ouachita Parish School Board as a school bus driver from 1949 to 1973. Mr. Alvin Britton Sr. also made substantial contributions to the area prior to being employed with OPSB. Mr. Britton Sr. was highly passionate about African American youth having access to a good education. His passion led him to purchase a bus with his own money to transport children in the community to school. This bus was also used for field trips and church functions as well. Mr. Alvin Britton Sr. was an upstanding citizen in Jerusalem and surrounding communities, and that's the Calhoun area. During a time when it was difficult for African Americans to shop for needed necessities, he opened a convenience store, giving African American families, in particular, access to local goods and service, saving them from the long trips to the city. As the area grew, Mr. Britton Sr. built a full-service washateria so that residents that did not own or could not afford to own washers and dryers for their homes could have access to all the amenities of town washaterias of the day. This coin-operated facility was equipped with washing machines, dryers, pressing boards, and steamers, along with vending machines. These are only a few of the highlights of the scope of work a dedicated employee of the Ouachita Parish School Board.
Thank you.
Board, I just want to add, per our policy, a committee met on August the 21st, 2024, that Mr. Beatty and Ms. May were a part of, along with Hamby, other members of the central community, and a representative for the Britton family to discuss this. Our policy allows for the naming of facilities in October and April, and I think they've met all the guidelines that our policy requires.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. Mr. Beatty with the motion, Ms. May with the second. All in favor of approval? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposition? And there is none. Motion carried. Thank you, sir.
And I do know we have some members of the Britton family here today. Just want to welcome them. Thank you for being here today. So.
Can I just show you our group, just for a quick stance that came to support this effort with us, this group? Gentlemen, that came to support us.
Appreciate it. Item 5, consider and approve the 2024-25 pupil progression plan. Mr. Pate and Ms. Wheeler.
All right. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and Ms. May. It's that time of the year again to approve the pupil progression plan for the 24-25 school year. You should have received already the document that gives you, or allowed for you to look at the revisions or those that we were proposing for the 24-25. We did not want to include the whole pupil progression plan. So in other words, other than what's here listed as something that is proposed or proposed new from last year's plan, you didn't have to read over all of it. So we're here today to get your approval of these particular items that you've been sent out beforehand. And I don't want to belabor this or waste your time. If there's any questions about any particular part that we're asking you to approve, then we can answer your questions. But if you did not have any questions after reading over this, then our request is that we take a vote to see if you approve these changes for the 24-25 pupil progression plan.
Board, just a little background. The only thing that we're tweaking a little bit in pupil progression, you see, is dealing with EL, our English language learner population. And one other main thing that was dealing with our remote learning. First time this year, you allowed, at our teacher's request, to have a teacher work day, and we coupled that with a remote learning day. And this just kind of gives our schools some guidance on how to proceed in that area. All the other changes in pupil progression were generated by the state. For example, the 10-point grading policy. You're not having to vote on that since that is now state law. So these are the two things.
Any questions? I need a motion to approve the plan as amended for this year.
I'll make that motion.
Awesome.
Have a motion by Mr. Hicks and a second by
second
Ms.
it.
May. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Curtis. Item 6, consider and select an architect for remodeling the restrooms and additional hallway at Central Elementary. Mr. Beatty?
Yes, Mr. Coleman, I might like to make a motion to select TBA as the architect at Central Elementary for remodeling the restrooms and an additional hallway which will actually enclose our whole school, and they don't have to walk outside to go to another part of the school. So, pretty excited about that.
Please make note that I have to recuse myself from the vote, but if I were voting, I would be recommending TBA.
All right, I need a motion to accept TBA as the architect for
I'll make that motion.
Central Elementary. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? None, with Ms. May recusing herself. Item 7, financial report, Ms. Meekus, August 31st, 2024.
Good afternoon, Board. You have in your packet the financial statements for the period ending August 31st, 2024. For the general fund, the current fund balance ending this period is $30 million. For the District 1 M&O, we're ending this period with $30.7 million. For general fund, this represents about 81%, almost 82% of where we were at this time last year. We'll point out that's just a difference in timing. There have been no specific incidences that have dropped our fund balance. There's just a timing difference at this time of the year. And with M&O, we're at about 115% of where we were this time last year with our fund balance. I would like to point out that as we have passed October the 1st, we had an MFP count which shows that we are down about 235 students. This was budgeted, so that is the only pro that I can think of with a count like that. The count has dropped less in the last record period than it had in the 6 months prior to that. So that is also positive that it seems like we're starting to regain some of those students that we may have lost over the last few years. But that 235 students equates to about $1.5 million for the school board, which was in the budget that was adopted on August 27th. We did account for that. We did project that. We were within the numbers that we projected in the budget, so that is a positive. Also, I would like to talk about the state stipend. Let me grab it. When you start talking about stipends, you don't want to misquote any numbers. So we do have a stipend. It's the state stipend that has been approved and will go out this Friday, October the 11th. It's for employees who were, regular employees who were employed and active as of September the 18th. This is different from the COVID supplement that we've had in years past. This stipend only includes regular full-time employees, does not include any long-term subs. We are distributing it as specified by the state that they allocated this money and was sent to us. It's a $2,000 supplement for certified staff, $1,000 supplement for support staff. Last year, we received this same supplement, and we were able to divide it into two separate, one that went in October and one that went in March. This year, because of the restrictions of the stipend, we were not able to do that. So this is just one stipend that will be issued October the 11th. And with that, I just caution every time we talk about it, because we have kind of gotten used to the last few years having stipends, one in October and one in March. There will be no March supplement this year. With us being restricted and having to distribute this entire stipend in October, and there being no ESSER money remaining, there is no supplement plan to be distributed in March prior to spring break as we've had the last several years. So I just want people to know that, plan for that. You don't want to get to March and have someone expecting a payment that's not going to come. So this is a very good thing, as were the ESSER supplements over the last few years. They've been good to our employees. We just need to know what's coming and what to plan for.
The stipend we talked about last meeting was the ESSER fund stipend, right? And this one is the state, or is it the same one?
It's the same one. Right. There is no, as ESSER ended September the 30th, there is no more stipend as to date to come from those funds.
This is the stipend that we discussed at the last meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
And item 8, construction renovation projects. Mr. Hemphill?
Good afternoon, Board. Hope y'all doing well. I've really enjoyed this good weather we had, good construction weather. So maybe we're moving forward on a lot of things. First, we have TBA. We're out at West Ouachita. It looks like a big ant pile out there. Ants are running everywhere. There's work going on, so things are progressing well out there. The pavilions, they're coming to an end of being finished. We still have to have fire marshal approval for the schools to start using those. And that's in the schedule to be done. I think the fire marshal has been contacted. We still have 3, which would be, one has started Richwood High School, and then we got Lemel and Schwartz that hasn't been started as far as dirt work and foundation. So we're trying to get those 2 areas dried up so they can start on those. So, Sturgeon High School, that job's going very well. Again, a lot of moving parts, a lot of different areas being remodeled and built, so that's moving well. Lemel Elementary, that job's moving. We're putting up the steel for the library. The units come in for the library that got remodeled. Those units are installed. We did have to add 1 window back there in the computer lab for fire marshal. They required us to put an outside window in, so that's underway. Drew Elementary restrooms, that job is completed. Calhoun Elementary, we had a lot of underground work to be done. That's been completed, so hopefully we'll start seeing a lot more progress on that job out there at Calhoun Elementary. Pinecrest, the canopy's out front and the one around on the bus pad, the metal did come in for the bus pad. I think they got it up this past week, so all that's good. They got a lot of canopy out front. They got the main beams up. Really coming along out there. So West Ridge multipurpose still doing a lot of site work. You see a bunch of dirt work, drainage, all that being put in. So West Monroe Training Center right over here. I can actually see that area from my office window. I can see when they're working and not working. So they got the turf rolled up, got it out of the way. starting on cutting asphalt out, so Good Hope Middle, they should start Monday on mobilizing, getting there and roping everything off. That job should start doing some Dembo work and all that next week. Richwood High School Athletic Field House, we'll be evaluating that bid here in just a moment with Mr. Peters to vote on awarding the base bid with that alternate 1, 2, and 3. Architect Alliance, they're doing our Schwartz upper roof. The bid date got pushed back for a week due to some metal around the edges of the building that the contractors didn't catch, so we give them a little more time, and then us being out for spring break, we pushed it back to the 22nd of the bid opening for Schwartz upper roof. With Land 3 Architect, we were down a couple of weeks ago at Richwood Middle. That multipurpose building is going very well. I mean, I was excited about what they had done. So they're getting that job back on track, and things are looking very good. That's all I have today. If y'all have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Stephen, I have a couple of questions. On the track at Richwood, can you tell us when, well, we plan to start on that? Or?
I spoke with Mr. Peters yesterday, and I think we're gonna do it in November after football season's over. So that'll be taken care of in the month of November.
Dr. Locke was concerned about the color, but you all straightened it out yesterday that.
Yeah, we took care of it.
A couple other things. One is that on that multi-purpose building at the high school, they have two gates, one on the left side and one on the right side. I understand that they have still not been secured yet, that individuals can come and go at will because they haven't put the security magnets or whatever on there.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that Dr. Locke.
Those are just ornamental frame type gates, aren't they?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they are.
I mean, they probably got a locking mechanism on them. It probably don't work very well, and I don't know that.
They haven't installed it yet.
Oh, they have it installed.
Yeah. The fence
The
is
fence
there.
is there, the gates are not there?
Right.
Okay. I'll
And
take
I think the multi-purpose building looks good. The entrance, the front entrance looks great.
Great.
A lot of kudos. This may not be a part of the project, but there's some flooring at Richwood High School that I noticed before school
we've already
started,
looked
that's
into.
kind of coming up and
Yeah,
it's cracking.
We've already looked into that. That's
Okay.
being taken care of.
It's gonna be taken care of? Okay. I know for the
I think
last,
Mr. Leonard,
for the last couple of
his
months,
team
for the last couple of months, I've been sort of bringing it to the
Yeah.
attention, and it's
Yeah.
still, nobody's gotten back to me to say when.
I don't know when it, Mr. Leonard, do you know when?
They've already completed that.
Okay, they've already completed.
Well, they hadn't yesterday, because I was there yesterday.
Well, they done March, what they do about it.
Yeah. Is that in that short hallway
No,
where
that's
the floor was coming up,
going out to the,
out by the gym?
no, out by the pavilion, the new pavilion. It's going
We'll
out,
have to look at that, because I didn't know there was any floor.
Where the water came in?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't.
A lot of it just started coming up.
He's talking about Starlington High School. Todd will look into it.
Yeah,
We'll
Todd
look
can
into it.
take care of that. I didn't know about any flooring over in that area, so we'll take care of it. No
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Peters, evaluation of bids.
Afternoon, Board. I have a couple of bid items that we're going to be evaluating. Bid number 2-25, that's Richwood High School Athletic Field House addition and renovations. I'm going to recommend that the Board approve our lowest responsive bidder, Grindstone Construction, in the total amount with a base bid at alternate 1, 2, and 3 of $1,625,000, utilizing East Side bond monies as the funding source.
We had it budgeted for 1.4 million,
Yes, sir.
and it came in at 1.6. We got the other $200,000.
Yes, we have.
Is in budget?
Yes, it's enough in the budget.
Okay.
From the premium money. Okay.
Yes, sir. He had some premium money that he was able to allocate to that to cover the overage.
I so move.
Second?
Motion and a second. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? Motion carried.
All right, and then we have bid 3-25. So Mr. Hemphill was just speaking to our Swartz upper roof replacement. It's got a budget of $1 million, and our funding source is M&O. We pushed back that bid opening to provide our contractors some more time to properly bid the project. So that bid opening is going to be October 22nd. What I'm requesting is that the board approve the lowest responsive bidder on the project once that bid is open on October 22nd.
We have a motion to approve or pre-approve.
I make a motion, we'll approve the roof replacement, Swartz lower, upper.
Motion to accept the lowest bidder on the project. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposition? There's none. Thank you. All right. Permission to bid, Mr. Peters.
All right, we have bid number FS 7-25 to walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer, using our Child Nutrition Equipment Fund, and the budget of $90,000.
Where does this go?
Crosley and Highland.
Crossley and Allen. Have a motion to grant permission to bid. Second. Motion, Mr. Hicks, second, Mr. Beatty. All in favor, yes?
Yes.
Any opposition? Motion carried. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks.
Board, our next meeting is on November 12th. Can you believe we're saying November? July 1 rolls around and year's gone, right? So that's all I have for that. Mr. Geis, you have any reports?
Yes, Mr. Como, thank you. Just let everybody know, tomorrow our school visit teams will be going out celebrating National Principals Month, and we'll be honoring our principals tomorrow in the district. So probably don't have to remind you that next week is fall break. You probably heard that. So, and we have just completed or completing this week our 9th week, which is kind of hard to believe too, I think, going along with what Mr. Como said. So October the 29th, board, just so you can put this on your calendar, make sure it's on your radar. I've had it on my mail-outs to you. Employees of Distinction Banquet is at the West Monroe Convention Center that night on October the 29th. We will recognize our certified and support employees of the year, so always excited about that. On November the 4th, the Monroe Chamber is hosting their State of Education Luncheon at Bayou Point. That will be myself and Monroe City Schools and ULM and speaking that day, and they'll be recognizing our districts. So those dates are coming up. Just want to make sure they were on your radar. So
What time is that? 10:29, when does it start?
I'm assuming 6 o'clock. Mr. Graves, that is our Employees of Distinction banquet.
Does that include spouses or just us?
Some of you bring your spouses, and they are welcome.
Well, I was asking, I didn't know if we had an invitation for spouses this time. Is Eileen here?
She's not in here.
She's
We'll
not,
clear
we'll
that
find
up.
out. All right. Okay, thanks.
All right, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gass. And that concludes our items for today. I'll need a motion to adjourn.
I will move.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion carried.